Hello and welcome to Redefining Widowhood. My name is Carmen Andrea Harris. I am the Joyous Living Coach, and I help ambitious widows to find and create a pathway for joy. You can learn more about me at redefiningwidowhood.com. So, in today's video, it's not going to be that long. I hope you all have been enjoying the podcast, the audio videos, as I call them, but they're really podcasts. I believe that's the correct terminology. So, in today's video podcast, it's not going to be as heavy as yesterday's podcast was. But in today's podcast, I just want to share with you all some free grief resources, grief and widowhood resources. I don't know, the different states that you guys are in, or if you all have access to free resources on the journey. I know that free resources can be great. Some of you may be looking for something more in depth, or you may be using a combination of free resources and also paid counseling, coaching, and therapy. So I just want to share some resources. In the beginning of my journey, I did go to Grief Share at my mom's church when I was living close to my mom. And it was very helpful. And the majority of the people that were in our group were actually widows, because with Grief Share, it's a combination of different types of grief and loss that people have experienced. It's not just exclusively for widows. So for Grief Share, the group that I was a part of, the majority of the people in there were widows. And the woman who was leading the group, she was actually a widow. So that did definitely help me in the very beginning of my journey. As of recently, like earlier this year, I learned about an organization called Kate's Club. I believe my grief coach, my grief counselor, excuse me, I believe she told me about Kate's Club like in the beginning of our sessions when I started first counseling with her about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I kind of just pinned it and I didn't really think about it. However, one morning I was reading an article, like a local article, and there was this mom. She was talking about how there was a lack of support for grieving children, and she's just telling her story. And I'm like reading the article, and I'm in tears because my heart is totally pricked for like widows, children who have lost a parent, and just people grieving in general. So I'm reading the article and she's talking about how she couldn't find any help, and then she got connected to this organization, and the organization really helped her children on their grief journey. They had lost their father, and she said the name of the organization, and she was like Kate's Club. And I was like, oh my God, I think I heard of this like years ago. You know how you people give you so many different suggestions and things you should try, and time goes on and you go on your journey and you forget about it, and it came back up again, Kate's Club. So I went on their website, I filled out the information, I had my intake call and all of that. And I think this might have been around March or April, I believe, when my daughters and we got connected with Kate Club. But it's a really great free resource. They don't have them in every state. I believe they are like they're stationed in Georgia, for lack of better terms, but they do have virtual events that your children can participate in and you can participate in. And for if you're local, the kids can go there. Once you have gone through the process of entering into becoming a member, your kids can go there once a month for a live event, and they stay there all day and they do fun activities and they talk about the loved one who died, because it's not exclusively for children who have lost a parent. It's for children who have experienced the death of anybody in their life that they loved. And what I'm learning on this journey, I was so very just I don't want to say I made it an idol, but I just in the beginning of my journey, it was like it's all about widow grief. Like this is just widow grief. But as I've gone on this journey and I've lost other people that were very close to me, like I actually experienced the death of my widow best friend August 1st, 2021, which was very just devastating for me. So I have on my journey, I've experienced different types of death and loss and grief, not just the loss of my husband. So I believe that was through my experience, God has allowed me to understand different types of grief. So at Kate's Club, it's not just for children who have lost a parent, it's for children who have experienced any type of death of someone that they loved who was very close to them. And I learned on my journey that grief does bind us together in a way. There are certain things that, only other widows will understand if they've been on the widowhood journey. But grief, I believe, is universal, even though each relationship was unique. All that being said, Kate's Club is a great organization. I believe it's katesclub.org if you want to check it out. Again, it's locally in Georgia. However, they do have virtual sessions that your children and yourself can participate in um, if you're not in the state of Georgia. But I just wanted to share that resource with you because it's great for my children because they get to be around other children who have experienced grief because not a lot of children can really relate to losing someone so impactful in their lives. And I feel like a lot of children, when they are just going through the daily motions of going to school and being around other children who've not experienced a devastating loss, I know that it can be isolating for them. So I believe that representation matters, especially as it relates to children and their grief process and being around other children who have experienced the death of someone that they love very dearly. So I love Kate's Club for them because they get to stay all day. They do different activities. They get to have fun and just be kids, but then they also are afforded a space where they can talk about the loved one that they experience the loss of. And the reason why I am highlighting Kate's Club today is because today they had their Holiday Hugs event, which is an event where you come out and it's like a holiday celebration. And they also had another widow organization called Widow Strong. They were there, they sponsored the event, and they actually were giving out free Christmas trees. The kids were able to go and get free toys. And what I thought was so cool is that they had free gifts for parents, like self-care gifts, because if you're a parent and you're on the journey of widowhood, you probably have like just completely and totally forgotten about self-care. And you may not be taking care of yourself the best. You may not be focused on getting in your vitamins and your proteins and um, treating yourself to a nice candle or something like that. So they had all of those things where you could just literally just get what you wanted. And I thought it was so special because that's something that I often forego. Like, I'm thinking more about my children and what they need, and just getting different things in terms of like self care and stuff like that is not necessarily top on my list. So it was definitely a blessing today, going out and having the holiday event with Kate's Club, and then Widow Strong sponsoring the event, and my daughters being able to get just toys, and I was able to get some gifts as well. So that was really it was really great. And then we also had like a where we went in a room today and we just were able to share about our loved one and when they died and how they died. And it just really it was a really great day. And then they had a moment where like they said this poem, and there was not a dry eye in the room, just a poem talking about remembering our late loved ones and never forgetting them. And today was just it was very special. And I've always appreciated Kate's Club, but today it was like it it was even more impactful, and I was able to make some great connections. And I just want to share that resource with you. If you all have never heard of Kate's Club, definitely look it up. We also were able to go bowling today as well. They treated everybody to bowling. So that was like super duper duper fun. So I definitely want you guys to check out Kate's Club. And then Widow Strong, they're actually located in Georgia as well, but I know they have different online resources as well. So I just wanted to share some free grief and widowhood resources for you all. I also have a free healing challenge on my website, redefiningwidowhood.com, if you're looking for free resources. I also recommend my videos. If you go from the beginning of my videos up until now, there are some great videos that can help you along the journey as well. So I just want to share that with you all. I know a lot of times in grief, you can tend to isolate, you can tend to be on your own island. But today really opened up my eyes to the importance of community, not just community that I've created, but also going into different communities and just connecting with other people who have experienced different types of loss. Like for bowling today, I connected with someone who I had never seen at Kate's Club before. She was there with her son. And then I connected with another mom who was there with her son. And we just had the best time, like bowling and having fun and eating pizza. And it just was a really great. It was a really great day. And it really opened my eyes to the importance of connecting with other people who are grieving, especially during the holidays. Years ago, I did have like a private Facebook group for widows where I did live videos, and it was more of like a ministry type group. And I would like to do something like that again, but I don't know who's interested in it. So if you are happening to listen to this recording and you've been watching my videos and you would be interested in connecting in a community, it would be completely free community, like a ministry community where we get together and I pour into you all. Maybe once a month we get on Zoom and I just pour into you all as the Lord leads as it relates to grief and healing and widowhood. So if that's something that you would be interested in, definitely you can comment below this video, or you can I'll leave my email link in the description section, and you can email me and let me know if you would be interested in coming together in a virtual community. And definitely as the community grows, the ministry community, depending on where people are located, I would love for us to start getting together maybe once a month or something like that, to definitely build community and build support, because I do understand how you can isolate yourself and be on an island in your grief. But it really is helpful to be amongst other people who are grieving, other people who have experienced the same type of death as you, and people who can pour into you and mentor you and give you tips on how to navigate the journey. So again, if you would be interested in being in a free ministry community for support, we could meet once a month via Zoom, and I just pour into you all, minister to you all as the Lord leads. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. And I'll leave my email address in the description section so you can email me and let me know if you're interested, because I want to gauge interest first before I create another group or before I commit to that, because I want to see if it's something that you all will be interested in. Yes, I am a grief counselor and a life coach, but I also understand that I am to minister in this space as well. So I'll leave that info in the description section. And thank you all so much for listening to this video.